Hello engineers, it's me again. In this video I want to show you how to build a more advanced part, help you become more familiar with some of the tools over here and some of these icons. So this is kind of video 3, more advanced parts. So to start off with, we're going to make a new part. So notice we have this little plus sign down here. I'm going to click this plus sign. Now we want to make another part, so create part studio. From in here, I'm going to rename this. So that's a right click, I'm going to say rename, and I'll call this advanced part. Again, once you have 5, 6, 7 pieces, having actual names is just going to be easier. All right, so let's dive into a sketch. Remember, to do any of this, we always start with a sketch. I'm going to look at the top view up here. Let's get the sketch going. Oh, I need to select a plane. Top plane. Let's go, I don't know, we'll go something here. Let's say this is an L piece. All I'm going to do is just all one big sketch. So I'm going to do something like that. And you know what? Let's be extra crazy on this sketch, and let's say something's happening right there. That looks kind of bonkers, but we can clean this up. Okay, so I'm going to go to our dimensions tool, and let's say this whole distance is 3 cubes long. So there's a couple ways I can do it. In the last video I showed clicking the line, but you can also click this line to this line, and notice it shows the whole thing. I want that to be 3 cubes wide, so I'm going to do 3 times 0.75, and there it set that entire length for me, 2.25 inches that is. Okay, let's set this one now. So again, I'm going to hit the D tool, the D button, or you can select up here, there to there. I want this to be 1 cube, so let's go 0.75. Great, we're rolling there. Now, you might be asking, how do you get this to be right in the middle? Your cube's not going to work if this is kind of offset. So here's what you can do. You can select this line and this line, and we're close, but that's not quite right. That won't work. So by selecting those two lines with the dimension tool, I can now tell it I want those two lines to be 0.75 inches apart. And notice it did that. Now this side's probably not right yet, and this is not right yet. So let me select this dimension. Let's go 0.75 here, 0.75 there. And now this one should be right, but let's just be real thorough and double check it. So I'm going to click this line here, and notice it's 0.75. I'm going to hit enter. Yes, that's correct. Now you might notice that this is grayed out. That's because that was a driven dimension. That had to be that way. There's no other way for that to go. Okay, let's adjust this piece now. Now I'm realizing if I have a block here and a block here, and our cube is only 3 by 3 by 3, well, this can only be 1 block long, so I need to adjust this length. So let me, again, I'm going to use the dimension tool, choose this length right here, and I want that to be just 1 cube, so 0.75 there. Now I also need to do this one, 0.75 there. And just to be thorough, I'll show you what this is. That's a driven dimension, so it's gray, and I'll do this one again just to show you that. Okay, so now maybe this is the base of our piece here. So after you have a sketch, what do? We extrude them. So I'm going to go up here to this extrude tool up here, click extrude. It's selected the entire sketch. It wants to know how far do we want to do it. We want this to go 0.75. And now that this is kind of the advanced video, you could choose the direction. Maybe for now it doesn't matter, but you can choose, do you want it to go so far front and back is what symmetrical is? Do you want it to go up to the next surface, up to a certain face, up to a part? You have all these options. For now, we just want it to blindly go up 0.75 inches, and I'm going to hit check. Let's look at this from kind of the corner view. Okay, that's a sweet part. Let's add something bonkers right here. So I'm going to do a sketch. Again, I prefer to look at this head on. So right now this top is the top face. So if I click over here top, notice now I'm looking at that head on. Let's add a square right here. So if I hover over here, notice that highlighted orange. So that means it's locked into the corner, snapped into the corner. Now I'm going to pull it down here, and awesome, it snapped right into this other corner for me. So now that means those dimensions were driven. They have to be 0.75 since I locked it to that corner and locked it to that corner. Now let's go ahead and extrude this. I'm going to intentionally leave that at 1 inch for now, and I'll explain why in a second. So I hit that. Let's look at it. Oh, now I notice that this is actually extruded too long. And in all of your parts, you're going to end up making just mistakes. That's part of life, part of this all. So let's say I need to edit this extrusion because this extrusion was too tall. I can go over here on the right, and that was the second extrusion that was wrong, or that I want to adjust. So I'm going to right click over here and hit edit. Notice the same extrusion menu comes up, and now let's say I want to adjust this depth to actually be 0.75 like it's supposed to be. And notice now it brought that down a little bit more for us. You could also edit the sketch if need be. Let's say, oh, I actually decide I don't want this just to be a single piece here. Maybe I want it to be a piece here and here. So I want it to actually go both of these. Well, here's what we can do. We can edit the sketch in a similar way that we just edited the extrusion. So over here on Sketch, I'm going to right click and hit edit. So now it's opening up this sketch. Well, now if I need to get another piece over here, remember when I made this rectangle, I locked those in. So the computer's gonna be kind of confused if I just try and pull this out. I don't think it's gonna let me do that. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna right click on this and see if I can delete that sketch entity. That sketch wasn't gonna be viable. All right, so let me build this rectangle, but I'm gonna do it for this whole piece here. So I'm gonna sketch a better piece on there. Notice it snapped in for me. So now I have this whole sketch, and now it's just going to extrude just that piece. Let me go over to extrude. We want it to be 0.75, 0.75. And notice there we have it. I'm going to hit OK. Let's look at different views and see if this looks right. That's kind of a crazy piece. One more thing while you guys are here, I really recommend see what some of the different mouse clicks do. If your mouse has a wheel, click it now and drag around and see what that does for you. If you're, again, on a wheel, scroll in, scroll out, see how that affects your view. Maybe click out here and drag. You can highlight things. Or I can go out here and left click, or sorry, that's right click, and a list of options come up. While we're on the conversation of advanced parts, I also want to make sure I show you how to change the material or the color of these. So you can go over here. This is what the part is actually is. So I'm going to right click. I'm going to say edit appearance. And maybe I want this to be a bright orange piece. Hit check. And there we go. That is an advanced part. As always, if you have questions, never hesitate to ask. Mr. Katie and I would love to help you guys out. Talk to you soon.